Really, I suppose you don't, you just, I mean, particularly when you're young and you're setting off and you're finding your comic feat, that you just want to have fun. That, I suppose, is what drives you.
Rowan Atkinson is a well-known humorous actor and writer, best known for his portrayal of Mr. Bean in the successful television series and 2 feature films of the same name. He had a pliant face and can go from a total fool to a senior politician in a matter of seconds. He discovered his talent for humor while studying at Oxford University, and he hasn't looked back since. Aside from the hilarious Mr. Bean comedy series, he's captivated viewers with his portrayal in The Black Adder. He's frequently praised for his dark humor and ability to perform physical comedy. During his childhood, he met future screenwriter Richard Curtis, with whom he created and performed comic parodies at the Oxford Playhouse and subsequently at the Edinburgh Fringe. This led to local fame and a role in the popular television comedy series Not the 9 O'Clock News, which he both created and acted in. He made his cinematic debut in the James Bond thriller Never Say Never Again, and went on to feature in films such as The Witches, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, The Lion King, Bean, Johnny English, and Keeping Mum.
Have international appeal, I suppose,
because there's no language barrier.
Because I was based actually on a visit, on a holiday in Venice that I had in 1985, quite a long time ago.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Rowan Sebastian Atkinson, but is also known as Mr. Bean. He was born January 6, 1955, Consett, County Durham, England, making him age 66 at the time of this production. He stands at 181 centimeters tall. Boris Johnson caused uproar when he said burqas, the covering worn by some Muslim women, were oppressive. He further questioned why they would walk about like letterboxes and compared them to bank robbers. He continued saying, only a tiny percentage of women in the UK now wear these strange items of headwear. I'm confident they'll leave one day. Johnson's remarks came after Denmark banned burqas in public places. The statements drew significant condemnation, and he was urged to apologize by Conservative Party Chairman Brandon Lewis. Rowan Atkinson, well known for his performances in Black Adder, Mr. Bean, and Johnny English, has spoken out in support of Johnson. The comic responded to the Times newspaper claiming that all jokes about religion offend people and that he should not have to apologize. As a lifetime beneficiary of the right to make religious jokes, I think Boris Johnson's remark about burqa wearers resembling letterboxes is a fairly decent one, Atkinson said. It's futile to apologize for religious jokes because they all offend people. You should only apologize for a poor joke. On that premise, there's no need for an apology. Atkinson has a lot of high-ranking contacts. He was one of the few famous guests invited to Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Knowles' wedding. Atkinson has also done a lot of philanthropic work for the Prince's Trust, which may help explain the link. Despite the fact that Atkinson is a motor enthusiast, he's definitely not a competent driver. He has been involved in a number of accidents, most notably in his McLaren F1. In July 2001, he wrecked his Aston Martin V8 Zagato during an enthusiast gathering, but escaped with minor injuries. In February 1990, Rowan Atkinson married Sunestra Sastry. Benjamin and Lily are their 2 children. When she was working as a makeup artist for the BBC in the late 1980s, the pair first met. They divorced on November 10, 2015, after they separated in 2014. Appothorpe, Northamptonshire, was the home of the family. Since 2014, Atkinson has been in a relationship with comedian Louise Ford, whom he met in 2013 while performing in the West End comedy Quartermain's Terms. In December 2017, she gave birth to Atkinson's 3rd child. They presently split their time between London's Notting Hill and Highbury, as well as Ipswich, Oxfordshire.
Bowie and classical musicians like Daniel Barenboim, and I thought, how odd that musicians generally assume they have an international audience.
Rowan Sebastian Atkinson was born on January 6, 1955 in Consett, Newcastle, England. His father's name was Eric Atkinson, and his mother's name was Ella Mann. He is the eldest of 4 siblings. Rowan was reared in an Anglican family. He attended Durham Chorister School before enrolling in electrical engineering at Newcastle University. He completed his education at Queen's College, Oxford. Here he met screenwriter Richard Curtis, with whom he collaborated on skits and writing for the Edinburgh Festival Fringe. In 1979, Atkinson filmed a one-off pilot for London weekend television called Canned Laughter after graduating from university. After that, Atkinson went on to perform Not the 9 O'Clock News for the BBC, which was created by his buddy John Lloyd. He appeared on the program alongside Pamela Stephenson, Griff Rhys-Jones, and Mel Smith, and was one of the show's major sketch writers. Because of the popularity of Not the 9 O'Clock News, he was cast as Edmund Blackadder in Blackadder. Atkinson co-wrote the first series, The Blackadder, 1983, set in the medieval period with Richard Curtis. A second series written by Curtis and Ben Elton was broadcast after a 3-year hiatus, in part owing to funding difficulties. Blackadder 2, 1986, chronicled the fate of one of Atkinson's original character's ancestors during the Elizabethan period. The same formula was replicated in the 2 subsequent sequels, Blackadder III, 1987, set in Regency, England, and Blackadder Goes Forth, 1989, set in World War I. The Blackadder series was one of the most successful of all BBC situation comedies, generating television specials such as Blackadder's Christmas Carol, 1988, Blackadder The Cavalier Years, 1988, and subsequently Blackadder Back and Forth, 1999, set around the turn of the millennium. Mr. Bean, Atkinson's other invention, made his debut on New Year's Day 1990 in a half-hour special for Thames Television. Mr. Bean has been compared to a modern-day Buster Keaton. However, Atkinson has claimed that the real inspiration was Jacques Tati's character, Monsieur Hulot. Several Mr. Bean sequels aired on television until 1995, and the character was subsequently adapted into feature film. Mel Smith, Atkinson's collaborator on Not the 9 O'Clock News, directed Bean, 1997. Mr. Bean's Holiday, a sequel, was released in 2007. Inspector Raymond Fowler was played by Atkinson in The Thin Blue Line, 1995 to 1996, a television sitcom produced by Ben Elton that takes place in a police station in the fictional town of Gasforth. Atkinson has appeared in commercials for Kronenberg, Fujifilm, and Give Blood. In a long-running series of commercials for Barclaycard, Atkinson played a bumbling and error-prone intelligence operative named Richard Latham, on which his title part in Johnny English Reborn, and Johnny English Strikes Again was based. He played the Doctor in The Curse of Fatal Death, a Doctor Who special created for the charity telethon Comic Relief in 1999. In July 2011, Atkinson featured on BBC's Top Gear as the star in a reasonably priced car, driving a Kia CD around the course. Atkinson performed as Mr. Bean in a comedic scene during a performance of Chariots of Fire during the 2012 Summer Olympics opening ceremony, playing a repeating single note on synthesizer. He then entered a dream sequence in which he joined the runners from the film of the same name and defeated them in their legendary dash down West Sands at St. Andrews by riding in a minicab and tripping the frontrunner. In Maigret, an ITV television film series, Atkinson played Jules Maigret.
Wouldn't it be fun, because I had already started exploring just doing purely visual comedy, whether I could, do that on, I'd explored it on stage.
Rowan Atkinson's annual income is $20 million. Rowan Atkinson's net worth is estimated to be $150 million. Atkinson bought Handsmooth House and its 16 acres and land in Ipston, Oxfordshire for £2.6 million in 2006, and has spent the last decade and millions of pounds building a high-tech, space-age petrol station, glass and steel mansion in its place. Atkinson has a collection of several cars. A 1989 Lancia Thema 8.32 Series 1. A 1939 BMW 328. A 1977 Aston Martin V8 Vantage. A 1992 McLaren F1. And a 2011 Skoda Superb.